Hello everyone, I'm Rizka Rahma Nuriyah and I'm a student from English department. And as you can see from my face, I feel so happy today because I'm going to share with you guys a very beautiful book that I've ever read. And before we jump to the next section, I will give you some informations about the book that I'm going to review. Okay, the title of this book is A Gentle Reminder, which was written by Bianca Sparacino and was published on 1st January 2021 by Thought Catalog Books with 152 pages. In this video, I will give the explanations of the messages that contains in this book in every section, and I will also give my impression after reading this book for the first time. And last but not least, I will share the value that I've got from this book and I want to apply in my life. So without any further ado, let's check this out. I'd say that A Gentle Reminder is a self-development book, and as the title suggests, this book contains a lot of reminders that packaged with a very gentle language, but still it doesn't reduce the beauty of the messages. One of that beauty messages is we are is a normal human beings, and it is okay for us to feel sad, to feel happy, to feel betrayed. That's normal. And I'd say that this book emphasizes a lot of values in our life, such as how to stay positive and how to deal with people who sometimes make us feel down or feel bad. And the important is how to love ourselves and regard the love that we received from other people. Okay, and now I will specifically explain each chapter or each section of this book and the messages that contains in that section. The first section of this book contains a reminder that right now our journey is not only about love anymore. Sometimes it is about how we survive when we are being alone or when we are being challenged. And right now, we are being shown that we can take care of ourselves, we can depend on ourselves, and we can be our own home no matter what comes in our way. And whenever you are ready to put your heart again into this world, please don't look for the same love that you've experienced. Please look for the new love. The second section of this book contains a reminder that if there's something that ignites us, please chase it. Chase it because you don't want to look back in 2 years or 5 years or maybe 20 years ago and wonder what you have been. Chase it because you don't want to think back all of your potential, all of your beauty that you missed out because you were afraid, you were unconfident, or maybe you let an idea of yourself that was untrue rob your joy and your capacity to move confidently in the direction of the things that inspired you. The third section of this book contains a reminder that we deserve to be loved the way we love others. We deserve to feel seen. We deserve to love someone who doesn't judge us for the ways in which we had to kill our sadness. We celebrate our happiness, and someone who doesn't hold our past against us. The next section from this book contains a reminder that we have to be patient when we are trying to forget someone who was once a very meaningful person in our life, or who was once a beautiful part of our life. Because letting go of someone that we thought would be in our life forever, who would love us forever, is very difficult. So the key is be patient in moving on. Or the next section in this book contains a reminder that the way we show up in this world, unguarded and willing to try again despite all of the ways it has tried to betray or defeat us, is very beautiful. And later, We will not find a love that is perfect. We will find a love that is real. We will find a love that always sees us. We will find a love that can connect our heart. And we will find a love that give a reminder about the existence of the goodness. And we will find a love that reminds you or reminds us how worthy we always hear. And this love, actually, it will show you that you were never asking too much and you were always enough and you will be always. The next section of this book contains a reminder to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for being different, for changing than you were maybe like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 1 month ago, or even a week ago. Forgive yourself for wanting different things or for maybe stepping away from the goals or the dreams that people have manifested to you. And please congratulate yourself for having the courage to do the changes, even if it wasn't very graceful or even if it could have been executed in a kinder way or a more tender way. And even if you see now that you could have done things differently, please appreciate, and it is normal, so don't be sad. The next section of this book contains a reminder that you don't have to have it all figured out in a certain age, and you don't have to chase a dream of success or maybe a goals that doesn't inspire you or doesn't motivate you. What you have to do is just learn about yourself anymore and keep doing the good work, not only physically but also emotionally. And please remember that it is never too late to become the person you have always hoped that you could be, or to love the way you have always wanted to be. The next section of this book contains a reminder that if there's someone who cannot love us anymore or who has decided to leave us, so we have to let them go. I think this is a very difficult lesson to learn, but still we have to forgive them for not being able to love us or for leaving us. And you know that if you are the person who always here for everyone, who always the ability to help everyone, you know your heart need rest, and also yourself. And please remind yourself that you don't need to carry the weight of this world in your shoulder or in your back alone. And you may not be able to save everyone, that you may not be able to heal every heart, but still remember that you are worthy and you are enough. This chapter contains a reminder that alone is not a synonymous with not good enough. Alone is not a weakness, and it isn't something to be ashamed of. And I could say that alone is actually a gift. You know, like it is a foundation or a steady ground within ourselves that will always be forever in ourselves. And this chapter also contains a message to choose happiness and to choose the kind of love that feels right, then the kind of love that can make you understand why it didn't work with anyone else. Please choose the kind of love that makes you so damn happy, and let go of anything that doesn't serve the version of love, and let go of anything that doesn't hold your heart. And finally, we arrive in the last section of this book that contains a reminder to not suffocate your love. And don't ignore the way someone makes you feel about yourself to keep them in your life. And please don't ask for something that it cannot be more as it could be right now. Instead, appreciate it for what it was and appreciate the lessons that grew within you. And you know, you got lucky enough to meet someone who showed you that the world is still had the goodness inside of it, and maybe that person or that people may not have loved you anymore, but still they teach you how to survive in this cruel world together. Okay, now I'm going to share you my impression after reading this book for the first time. You know that I think it's a little bit TMI, but I was crying when I was reading the 42nd or 43rd pages that contains a message that if we are in love with someone who couldn't love us back at that moment, so it is a sign or it is a reminder for us to live and to let that person go. And it is a little bit related to what I've experienced before, that I have to let go the person that I loved the most back then. And I think I spent a lot of time to forget him, even though that love didn't work, but still, yeah, I got a lot of time to move on. As what I've promised you guys, that I will share the value that I've got from this book and I want to apply in my life. And the message is that we all as a human beings have the right to love and to be loved, and we also have the right to to dreams and to hopes with all our imperfections. And that message taught me to to respect and to regard and to prioritize myself first, without putting the others down. And because of this book, I'm actually trying to stop blaming myself for the mistakes that I've ever made or the faults that I've ever made. Because it is normal for every human being to do that, as long as we always try to improve and try to fix the mistakes that we have made. Okay, this is the end of the video, but before I end it, I highly recommend this book for those of you who still feel like you are unworthy or you are not good enough and you don't deserve to be loved and to be in love, and you are still chasing your dreams and still hoping for the brightest future. I think this book will motivate you to love yourself more and to appreciate yourself more than the past, I think. And I hope this video will give the motivation to you guys for reading more books, and this video could give you insights about how to appreciate ourselves more. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you next time. Goodbye.